Welcome. If you know Sonny, the Songfather Grasso, well then you know that over the years he's been in the company of some very, very famous people. And you also know that more often than not, he's either said or done something that made him say, "Oops, I did it again." So sit back each week and enjoy yourself as Sonny recants many of his social blunders. Thank you. Thank you, crowd. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sonny the Songfather Grasso podcast number 3 of Oops, I Did It Again, where I tell stories about stupidity on my part. I know I'm hard on myself, but what the hell? It's always fun. And getting a lot of nice feedback, so thank you all for that. They're enjoying the stories and then the stories behind the stories behind the stories. So we'll just keep it going. Bring you up to date since the last podcast. I had the surgery last Thursday. On the eye, the left eye, and no IVs, but they gave me. I never had a Valium in my life, and they gave me 2, and it made me so calm that I fell asleep in the chair, and they were having a hard time waking me up. It was like that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond when he was having his adenoids taken out. But I woke up and then walked into the OR room there, and first I had to sit out in the bed, and then they were doing something in the room, so I had to lay out in the hallway. I got to meet the owner of Middleman Eye Care. So far, I would recommend them to anybody for any kind of eye problems that you have, and they're just a well organized professional bunch of people. It's really amazing, and from a person who's been in an operating room and been in doctors' cares on and off for too long. It means a lot for me to get to that point and to say what I just said, because I've been through so much bullshit, but they're unbelievable. So while I'm in the hallway, I said I got to meet the owner, and I commended him on all the people, and he was very happy. What a really down-to-earth kind of guy he was, and we ended up talking for a little while in the hallway about being from New York and the Yankees and this and that, and da-da-da-da. I kind of thought it was leading up to maybe when the Yankees are playing Tampa or Miami, he was going to, get some tickets, but it never came up. But I was in the hallway for so long, they gave me another Valium, and then I went in, and seriously, they could have taken my eyes out and put them on the end of a hook and went fishing. I never would have known the difference, at least till I was going home. But I just felt bad for Sonny because, he's in the middle of destroying his house that he just bought. Now they're just doing renovations, but so picked me up and got me there on time by 7:30 in the morning, and I should have been out of there by like 11:30, and but with that delay and then one or two little minor problems with putting the new lens in my eye, and getting the cataracts out, so I didn't get out of there till almost 1, and so he had to sit and wait. But it's just nice when you're not taking yourself there, and when it's family taking you, it was just, it was an overall good experience if you had to go through it. And so it took like 2-3, Thursday to Friday, Saturday, almost till Sunday, from Thursday to Sunday, for the cloudiness to go away, which was making me very nervous. And then I felt like there was not pain, but like there was a thumb or something that stuck in my eye. Like maybe his pinky ring came off or something, and he forgot to take it out of my eye. But I took a picture of it, and you could see there was a growth in there. And so I went to see him yesterday for the pre-op for this Thursday, which is the right eye, which is tomorrow. And he goes, "Yeah, no, that's okay. It should go away probably within another week or 2." And I said, "Oh, okay, great." He said, that happens a lot when you're taking the cataracts out and this and that. Da, da, da. And, sure enough, 24 hours later, I took another picture and you really can't even see it. So the man knows his stuff. Scott Fair is, I guess, the chief surgeon for that company. And so if you ever you live down here in Florida, and you're looking to have any work done, go to Middleman and even ask for Scott Fair. He's a good guy. He's so easy to bust his balls. He's like, it's unbelievable. After the first surgery, he told me when I went back for the post-op, he goes, everything went good except we got one little problem. You have something that's called a floppy iris syndrome, and that's where the cataracts, but also the stigmatism that kept growing, caused like a little dimple, in the eye where the old lens was, and sometimes the new lens slips into that dimple before it heals. But don't worry, it'll all heal up. He goes, I told you about floppy iris. I said, yeah, but you never gave me her number. Maybe I'd like to take her out and maybe flop with her. While he's trying to be serious, once again, I busted him out in hysterical laugh, and he goes, you know what? I get nervous having to talk to you. I thought it was great. But he's that kind of guy. So then I showed him, right now I'm having the vision in my left eye has made how bad the vision is in my right eye so much obvious now. It's unbelievable. Yeah, close my left eye and look, and everything is still blurry like it used to be without the glasses. And then I close the right, open the left, crystal clear. Unbelievable. Except I have a thing called, I don't even remember what it is now. I wrote it down somewhere, which is a side effect of this kind of cataract surgery when it's a little more extensive than, just a little laser pop, And it could take anywhere from a month to 6 months to go away. But when you look in certain directions, there's a crescent-shaped dark object, whatever you want to call it, that is across the corner of the thing. And it doesn't hurt, but what a pain in the ass it is, because oh, there it is. How do you get rid of it? And I just got to learn to be patient, which is something I haven't learned yet in my 40-something years on this earth. Shut up, everybody. So anyway, everything's looking good. Super Bowl was pretty much like I thought it would be. I thought it would be close. I thought it would come down to the end. I thought there would be more turnovers and more penalties because, you got two rookies going there. And as one of my friends on Facebook just had to tell me, hey, I forgot his name already. See what happens when it's out? Not Burrow, the other guy. But he's been around for like 11 years. He's never been in the Super Bowl, so he's a rookie. Half the line has never been in the Super Bowl, so they're rookies. And some of them are rookies, so stop. People sometimes they got to sit back and they can't wait. That's, going on, spend all their time on the line looking at what that guy say. No good. But the halftime show, I turned it off. And it has nothing to do with the quote unquote genre of music that was being played. It's just that a couple of those performers are very vocal and have been vocal in their music, in their lyrics, about telling people to go out and kill cops. Yet on the other side of the coin, God forbid anybody from any other race went and did that and suggested killing hoodlums in the hood or something. There'd be riots all over the place. So that's the other reason I just, I wouldn't watch it. How are these human beings? That are just entertainers? Yeah, they probably are. There's this Snoop Dogg, aside from smoking pot his whole life. You never really heard anything bad about it. He was good friends with Tupac and everything else, and he is who he is. But when you take that step and you go out and you drop albums and you go on tour and you stand in front of audiences, and with the success that you've had in your life and the following that you have, whether you want to or not, you have an obligation to kind of stand up a little taller than when you were first, like, say, starting out, and hanging out and banging and all that other stuff. You're on a different plateau in life now. And there's a responsibility that comes with that. And certainly putting out albums and songs with lyrics in it telling everybody from like 60, 70 years old all the way down to 6 or 7 years old to go out and start, wasting cops. No good. And so kind of shame on everybody for putting that up there. And I saw my good friend Freddie Rubino had put up a thing on his wall. I'm going to keep saying wall. I don't care if it sounds outdated. I don't know what else to call it. Some say it's a page. Some say it's a platform, whatever. Kind of answering that question. And it was very, very vocal about his opinion. But it's not his own opinion, is what I'm trying to say. There are a lot of people that share it, but many people will come out and actually say it. And one thing about Fred, he's not shy about expressing his opinion, and he's usually well close to 100% on the money about what he's saying. Not even that he has to go out and investigate and write down things before he says it. He reads the papers every day. He watches the news. He goes for walks and thinks, and at the same time, try to make bookings for his comedy show and write new jokes and everything else. So, his life is busy, but his mind is going a million miles an hour. And it was, I thought it was very well said about this whole thing. But I answered him back on just one thing, that they don't. It's not that the NFL. Whatever station was on, I even forget, Fox or NBC or whatever. It's not that they agree with lyrics like that. It's not like the sponsors agree that it is, or they want to hide behind the First Amendment, and it has nothing to do with that. It all comes down to money. So they have all these investigations going this way, and the demographics over here, and this and that, and whether we like it or not, when you get into my age category, Freddie and all the way up. And then the people that they used to go after, it's not like the old days. The commercials were always geared towards the parents, and, people that are going to be parents. And because they were the bread earners. They were the ones that were working. And the way things are now in this society, it doesn't go that way. Kids are making more on both sides of the street, though, much more than any of the parents did at the same age. And with this whole ability to go on to Spotify's and all these other places, who want to kick Neil Young off and everything else, so he wanted to take off or whatever. To get into some kind of a debate about what Joe Rogan can and can't say, which I talked about last week, so I won't again. But it's easy now to download a song, and there's some places where you can download it for free. You don't even have to pay for it. And I don't see the fascists over at Facebook and Instagram and TikTok especially, going after those people. Oh, you're playing a song. Where'd you get that song? Well, you didn't pay. It's not available for free. It's you can download it and spend $1, and then it gets divvied up wherever it goes. So the opportunities to hear a song, if they're not being played on the radio, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I even hate to say it. I got so many friends in that industry, but I don't even know who listens to the freaking radio anymore. Everything is the Sirius XM, or on the computer, or I know people, their kids got 15, even people my own age, they got 10, 15, 20,000 songs on their phone. 20,000 songs. And they just put in their headphones and listening to music all day long. So, are they listening to anything current? Is it all from the past? I don't know. But the point is, it was these lyrics and these songs were back even 15 years ago. Never would be played. Those artists that are pushing that kind of thing will never be invited to play at a Super Bowl. I go back to the days of my head, off the top of my head. Cher did a great job. Bruno Mars did a great job. Prince did a great job. And even a couple of the old bands. But that's the problem. There are no new bands. Maroon 5 is an old band, believe it or not. Could you believe that? Could anybody believe that? Maroon 5, Green Day, they're old bands. It makes me want to jump right outside and just jump right over the banister there. But I'm only on the third level. It's only a 3-level building, so the most I could do is probably knock my lens out. But anyway, so that's my little political, about what's going on. I don't think it was right. I guess being a Libra, I usually try to see both sides of a situation. Unless I'm in the middle of it, then I can only see my side. Sorry, but I understand you got to make money, so you have to go after the 16 to 25 or 16 to 30-year-olds that are going to make or break these artists, and so the sponsors got to be happy that they're paying 10, 15, $20 million for 30 or 60 seconds. During the Super Bowl, well, they want to make sure the money is going in the right direction, So they don't want to hear about Geritol or Polydent or they want to hit those people with something that they can relate to, and then go out and buy that product that was on there. So the Sopranos commercial was great though, and I was watching it, and I was actually getting pissed that when it was going on, I said, what is going on here? They're playing the same theme song. Then I look, and it's not the same car. And you get a quick glimpse of a girl sucking on a lollipop. And then the next time they shoot back to her, I said, holy shit, that's Meadow, I think. And when she parks the car and goes and meets the brother, I was like, wow, that was cool. It was a car commercial, very nice. I liked the way that was done. And then, of course, the side of me that sees conspiracies every once in a while, in a good way. But I'm saying, wait a minute. I wonder if there is some kind of like a tease in there somewhere. Like, all right, it didn't work out, and nothing against Gandolfini, may he rest in peace, his son that played him in the Angels in the outfield or whatever the fuck the name that was called, but. It was too soon, and it was so far away from the Soprano show that it never had a chance to get to the top of releases, to stay at the top, and probably one of the quickest things that are going to be released to whatever. What are they doing now? CDs, DVDs, whatever it is, if at all. The whole thing's going to be thrown on the shelf, and they'll take a loss on it and a tax write-off and everything else. But you didn't really, when you're advertising and leaning towards or drawing people into the fact that it's going to show how Tony Soprano from the very beginning, how he came to where he be, and his son Gandolfini's son is playing the Gandolfini's character. I mean, everything was, at least appeared to be lining up for a blockbuster. But I don't know. You've heard me say it 100 times. Nobody's got the balls anymore to do things, number one. And there is very little talent out there for making movies now. Directors don't have the insight that the great directors had. And I'm not talking going back to Cecil B. DeMille. I'm just talking about going back to Billy Friedkin, and not just because of the French Connection, but Friedkin and Scorsese. And I mean, there are just so many of them that they had that insight, while they're doing a film. And I had the pleasure, Sidney Pollack is another one. I had the pleasure of working with some really good directors, back in the day. That's what this whole new podcast thing is about, mostly. crazy things that I did while working on movies, But they would do it and look through the camera and set up the scenes as somebody sitting in an audience watching it, not just get it by and let's see what money we can get back, because really that's what they're looking to do now in this business, Do it cheap, get it out, get the money back, make a profit, roll on to the next one. Nobody's really looking for the big blockbusters, and there are even people that are accepting it and making fun of it if they win an award or anything. Golden Globe. There's a thing that's been flying around on social media now when Jim Carrey, who's totally lost his fucking mind, but goes up to make a presentation, and he says, "Hi, everybody. I'm two-time Golden Globe winner Jim Carrey." He says, "Okay." Get a little chuckle out of the audience, and and he goes on, and he goes on, and he's funny, so you don't even realize that he's taking shots at it, And then he goes on, when I go to sleep at night, I dream, but I don't just dream like anybody else. I dream of becoming three-time. And it's all because I don't remember what movie it was. I think it might have been The Truman Show. But when he was nominated for an Academy Award, and he didn't get it, and that's when he lost his mind. Everything started going sour on it. I guess he thought he really deserved it. Maybe he did, but because I thought he was terrific at it. But you got to understand, Jerry Lewis's son, Gary Lewis, had a song, big hit back in the 60s, called "Everybody Loves a Clown, So Why Don't You?" Well, you got to understand there, Mr. Jim Carrey, when you're a clown and you don't know how to turn yourself off, and you're a clown 24 hours a day, some people are turned off by you and don't even hear you anymore, and then some people expect you to always be doing that. So when you get into a serious kind of a thing there, well, that's not Jim Carrey. That's not the Jim Carrey we know and love. So it's a tough business. And I remember I was at a function with a golf function over in Jersey. I don't remember the name of the club, excuse me, but Gandolfini was there. And I think it was Paulie Walnuts, whoever, I don't have the name who played him, but, whatever. But, and a few other celebrities. It was like a celebrity am kind of thing, whatever, for some charity. I think it was for St. Jude's. But anyway, so I went out and played golf, and we had a good time. And then we're back in the, in the room there and having a couple of cocktails before you go down and take a shower, or some people don't. Some people just like to immediately finish and drink until they're poured into their car. Uber, excuse me. But anyway, so I happen to be standing at the corner with a couple of friends, and having my Johnny Black and maybe a little Sambuca, and I hear Sambuca. So I turn, it's Gandolfini. I go, "Oh, how you doing? Nice to meet you." And he goes, "Yeah, how you doing? Did I hear you say Sambuca?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I got to always have a Sambuca, at least somewhere between 1 and 50. So he laughed. I said, "You want one?" He goes, "Yeah, I want one." I said, "You want a silver cloud?" And he goes, "I already have one." I said, "What?" He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Rolls Royces." I'm like, "Oh, you're going to stick?" It's exactly what I said. "Oh, you're going to stick it up my ass because I drove here in a Chrysler?" So we laughed. So we all broke the ice and whatever. So we got him the Sambuca and blah. And so as he's walking by, so I know. So I said to him, so after he finished it, and boom, "Hey, Tony, you want another one?" And he looks at me. This isn't the story I'm telling this week. I might as well stick with it. Yeah, you're right. So he looks at me and he says, "Please don't do that." I said, "What?" I really didn't know what he meant. He goes, "Don't call me Tony, man. It's a fucking character I play in this and that." And I said, "All right, I'm sorry." I said, "But, you got to admit, I mean, it brought you success." He goes, "It brought me huge success, but I've been around. And since The Sopranos, I've been in a couple of movies, and I thought I did a great job. And I was even in an Oscar talk for," and he said the name of that war movie he was in. And he goes, "But you're not supposed to read the reviews. You're supposed to leave it up to your agent and your manager, He goes, "I don't know if you know this, but, actors are very fragile people." And I said, "No, I know." And so I said, "Well, my father is Sonny Grasso, like me, same name, but I'm named after him. And he goes, oh, God, I know your father. I said, so he tells me that all the time, how fragile it is, and you got to be careful. And, even when you're giving advice, how you say it. And if they don't get apart, you just can't say because you sucked. You got to say, well, they were going in another direction, or they were a little of this. He goes, but with me, it's always, acting was great. I watched the dailies. But all I see is Tony Soprano, holding a rifle, wearing an army uniform. And he goes, and just it's everywhere I go. And it's gonna curse me for the rest of my life. And I'm never gonna really be able to grow as an actor, And I said, well, I'm sorry to hear that. So we did a couple more sambucas, and boom. Who went down? I went downstairs, took a shower, changed my clothes, and come up. And I get my name. Where am I sitting? Oh, we're over here, Sonny. We're at this table. Oh, okay. So I go over and I sit down at the table. And there's a couple of empty seats next to us. Some people had gone home. And, so now they're going around selling the raffle tickets, and you're going all these prizes up on the stage. And, that's where, as a guy who did this for cerebral palsy for a long time, chairman, raised millions of dollars, not just by myself, but with the whole crew. But that's where the real money is, that you get to throw back to that charity. Because, just say you're charging a $1,200 a foursome, which is cheap now. But that's only $300 a golfer. So the club is probably charging like $160. So you're not making any money on that, And as the clubs raise that money, then you got to raise, So, but the raffles, if you get good prizes up there, like since we're on the Soprano subject, my good friend Joe Ganiscalco, I always make fun of his last name, who was Vito. Another one who thought he would never live it down. But he hasn't really tried to do anything on screen. He's going on for his own thing and started, 2 or 3 different businesses and made some money. And now what he's doing is, going to people's homes and doing parties and cooking for them. He's a master chef. He sent me his book, A Meal to Die For, I think it was called, It's nice. He wrote a nice thing in it for me and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But now he's giving back a little bit. So for certain charities, that's a prize too. People are bidding like crazy on that. Just like when Daddio used to give his table at the golf outings as a prize. One year the bidding we took in $27,000 for one night. That doesn't include the food. That doesn't include the car to get there. It doesn't include the tip. It doesn't include the booze. That's just for the right to walk into Rayo's. I mean, you got to be kidding me. But, $27,000. And it's the same thing here. With him, people want, hey, guess what's coming to my house? That's right, he's going to cook for me from the Sopranos. And so he's doing great at it, and he's working hard. Today's his birthday. Oh, no, yesterday was his birthday, I think. But, working hard at losing weight, and he's at the gym every day. He's just looking terrific. And, thank God he was smart enough to do that, and I don't want to say that Gandolfini wasn't. I don't want to imply that that's what I'm saying, because I'm not. But anyway, so I'm getting back to that, and we're in the main ballroom and sitting at the table, like I said, buying raffles, and Gandolfini's walking around, and it's like he looked lost. It was almost like he didn't want to be there. So he's looking, so I just yelled out, "Oh, over here." Huh? Oh. What? I said, "Sit here." Nah, but I'm not. You're at table 7. I'm at table 4, whatever the hell it was. I said, "Who cares? Sit down." What are they going to tell you? Get up? Yeah, that's true. All right. So we sat there, just bullshit. It was fun going back and forth. And almost everybody that walked by the table, "Tony, hey, boss, how's it going, boss? Can I get you something? Hey, Tony." I mean, he was turning purple. He was getting so pissed off about it, And so I just turned to him. I said, look, you got to be cool. Take every time you hear that, take it as a compliment. Because that means you did such a great acting job that they look at you and that's what they believe in. And, and then try to get rid of it tomorrow, but at least for tonight. And so we did. So a guy came over, maybe about 10 minutes later, the guy comes over and sits down in the empty chair. And something just told me he didn't belong there, because he sat down and he wasn't looking like, where's my buddies at? You know, when you do that, you sit down at a table and you look around like, wait a minute, where's my wife? I don't know. He just kind of sat there, and I said, something's not right with this guy. And so sure enough, he turns to Gandolfini, and he says, yeah, boss, can I talk to you? Now, obviously, right away, I know what's going on. This guy thinks he's talking to a Don, a real Don. So Gandolfini says, like what? He goes, what do you mean, like what? And he goes, I don't want to talk in front of these people. I mean, are they okay? So Gandolfini says, how the fuck do I know if they're okay? And he goes, do me a favor. I'm just here to have some dinner, have some fun. He goes, it's very important. I got to. And in the middle of the sentence, I got up and I walked over. And I leaned in, on both chairs, one arm on both backs of the chairs, with my head in between the two of them. And I turned to this guy and I said, listen, just so you know, I'm his boss. And if you don't get the fuck out of this chair, by the time I get back into my chair, okay, you're going to be part of tonight's dinner. And I went and sat back down. When I sat down, he took off. I don't know where. I think he went in the car and went home. And Gandolfini was hysterical laughing. And I mean hysterical laughing. And I said, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Have fun with it. He goes, have fun with it? You just threatened that guy. You just threatened to kill him. I said, oh, I didn't think of that. I was just like playing a part. And sure enough, I'd say maybe 15, 20 minutes later, he comes walking over with two guys. And he walks up to the table. He was very polite. He says, excuse me. And he points to me. He goes, that's the guy right there. So they come over, and we need to speak to you for a minute. And I go, who are you? And he goes, well, I'd rather not do this here. I said, so what now? So he's got two people. So what do I got to do? I got to bring four people? So I said, all right, come on, we'll go out in the hallway. So we go out in the hallway, and they show me a badge. And they're from Jersey State Police. They happen to be at this, benefit. And I go, what's up? Did you threaten this guy? I said, excuse me? He goes, this guy says that you threatened him and that you're some kind of a mafia boss or something. And I don't care, because I'm not investigating anything, but if a citizen comes to me, I have to at least check it out. Can you understand that? And I said, I certainly can understand that. I said, is he a relative of yours? He goes, well, actually, he's my nephew. I said, well, then your nephew's a fucking moron. Because he goes, what? I said, wait, hear me out. He went up to James Gandolfini and said, hey, boss, can I talk to you for a minute? I got a problem I'd like to talk to you with. And the cop's face went white. All the blood came out of the face. And he turns to his nephew and goes, well, did you say that? He goes, well, yeah, but I just wanted to ask his advice, because I'm having a problem with my neighbor. And he looks at me and he shakes his head. He was like, I apologize. I said, but just so you know, he's not totally nuts. I was just playing along with it, and I went over and I said, look, I'm his boss. And then I told him what I said, and I said, so we sat down. We had a good laugh about it, but he goes, yeah, well, he saw you laughing, and then he said he was scared, and he thought you were going to whack him in a parking lot, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. So I come back in and sit down. We all shake hands, whatever. And Gandolfini goes, is everything all right? And I said, no, actually, no. He goes, what do you mean? I said, that was the FBI. And they've been watching us the whole night. And when you weren't looking, I put something in your pocket. And sorry. And he goes, what? Are you fucking crazy? What the hell is that? I said, no, I'm only kidding. And then I told him the whole story. But for a second, I thought I was dead. And he goes, let me tell you something, Sonny. He goes, I wasn't looking to come in here. I said, I know, I could see that. He goes, no, not that I don't like golf, or I don't like, going out and having fun. But when you go to events like this, I'm usually inundated with people, sometimes lines coming up, sign this, can I take a picture of this, and they use it. But you allowed me to just sit and enjoy myself, like, just like one of the guys, and I appreciate that. And I said, oh, you're welcome. I said, but you know what? While you're on the subject, he goes, well, I said, the programs that they gave you, I said, could you sign that for me? And he goes, yeah, sure. So he signs it, and then I kind of scoop my chair over, and I tell my cousin who was with me, I say, take a picture of the two of us. And I put my arm around him. He takes the picture, and I said, all right, thanks. And then other people saw it, and within 5 minutes, 10 tops, there had to be 20 people, maybe more, waiting online to take a picture with him. And he goes, you mother... You just ruined my whole thing. Dinner didn't even come yet. And I'm like, oh, my God. So he did it, and he did it with a smile, and took pictures with everybody, and signed this and signed that, and da-da-da-da. So, it was a good night. So I was saddened when I heard that he had passed away. And he died in Italy, and there was a lot of red tape that was involved in getting the body back, for a proper service and burial and everything. And the family was not succeeding in getting the body out. So one person called another person, who ended up calling Daddy-O and said, is there anything you can do? People all over the place, and da-da-da. So Daddy-O made one phone call, and it was taken care of. The body was boom, 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 put on the plane, flew back here, and this and that, da-da-da. And the person that he called was like a brother to him, and he was the owner of Mandocati's restaurant in Long Island City, who just passed away, Vincenzo, sadly. So, there's a happy part that his family and our family know that they're all together up there in heaven, along with the aunts and uncles and everything else. But, within a very short amount of time, a year apart from you, two very dear close friends, two, very philanthropic people and powerful and loving, caring people left this earth and left the family still with their mouths open, like, now what do we do? So, that ties into Gandolfini also, So there it is. That's not the story I was looking to tell, but sometimes that's how my brain works, and I just pop around. So I'll save The Godfather. There's at least 5 stories of The Godfather. So I'll do 2 stories next week, and then we'll hold off for a while and then come back to it. It's kind of along the same thing. You won't even believe it when you hear it. But my fond memory... that wasn't so much of me saying, oops, I did it again, till I started the thing with the picture. I mean, he even looked at me, he goes, I just told you. I just complimented you on making this a normal night for me, and now look what you started. I'm like, well, when am I going to do it? Sneak down when he goes to the bathroom and he's taking a piss? Hey, quick, come here, smile, click, click. No, but whatever. You know what? That's what you pay for when you get to that level. When you're, noticed. And, one of the biggest sayings in that business is, when they stop asking, your career is over. So, but anyway, rest in peace, Daddy-O and Vincenzo and Gandolfini and everybody else. And so let me get a different one, because I'm tired of this COVID bullshit. Now everything's being lifted all over the place. Everything, lift the mask, you don't need it. The science has changed. Oh my God, you can't believe it. It's 85% better than it was just a month ago. People are miraculously, getting the COVID is just leaving their body and going to the sky. And, oh yeah, by the way, Russia's going to invade Ukraine. Oh, stop, you freaking morons. And stop with the Joe Biden bashing, okay? Whoever listens to this, spread it around. Stop. What I watched my father go through, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that went through the same thing with the dementia. It is not a fun thing to watch. And it's certainly, I would be doing probably 20 to life if I ever heard anybody making fun of my father when he was going through those Biden moments, So stop bashing him. Bash the people that put him in there knowing what was coming, and bash the people that are still keeping him in there and not taking the moves. And that's on both sides of that street up there, Democrats and Republicans, who are forgetting they're there for us. They work for us. They're supposed to be protecting us. So, if this guy is where it's very obvious, I just saw his last speech that he made, I had no idea what he was talking about. And he had no idea what he was talking about, And that's the problem with dementia. Inside his head, where we can't hear it, it made sense to him. But you're leading a country. You're steps away from a key and a red button and saying the wrong thing. And you know what I'm saying? Stop. You can't bash him if he's got a problem. And if they just keep leading him and writing things for him and putting things in his ear and making a special podium with a laptop already built in so you don't have to walk up with one, and all the words are coming up for him to read and say, and 4 and 5 cameras out of our range that we can't see that he can read and off, and they're being so unfair to him and so selfish. It has nothing to do with saving the country. It has to do with keeping your party in there, and it's not right, and it's not fair to him, to his family, to the United States of America. So I'm going to lay off the COVID for a while. We'll do this one. Correct?
Body language can tell you all sorts of things, like someone is having a stroke. You need to know the sudden signs. Look fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. And then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org for further information. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, the Ad Council, WBXO, and the Songfather.
I still got to keep that in there, the WBXO part, because, obviously parted ways and not the right way, not in my opinion the right. So let me turn this down. The echo drives me nuts. Wasn't done the right way, but it was done so quickly that maybe I guess that's what they wanted. But it was during COVID and some illnesses going on. But I'm going through my own shit, and I just recently found out that they hired. When I say hired, nobody got paid anyway, but they brought on 2 or 3 new people. So all right, all I know is I was the most listened to person. I brought on the most listeners. And I'm talking about thousands upon thousands. They couldn't believe how many people were coming in and listening to WBXO and even going onto the website and the Facebook page, but whatever. And like I said, one day I'll write my own, I'll do my own TV show. I would love that. Oh, my God. Radio show. Maybe I'll go back to that one where I used to, where I was number one. I forgot the year it was, 2000 and, when did my mother die? Mom passed in 2017. No, it was in 2020. I'm sorry, it was after Daddy-O died. And actually, yeah, that's right, because he died January 22nd, same as Ma. And I debuted on the air February 1st, 2020. But before that, I was on my own other thing that I had to pay for, of course. But it wasn't that much money, but I was number one in the world in my category, in my genre. And it was great, and I brought a lot of them over to WBXO too. So, but I like doing this. I like sitting here, in front of a mic, and I like talking. I think we all figured that out by now. And I'm not sitting in the other room where I used to do everything. I'm only down here a year, but it's all set up with all the pictures on the wall and the celebrities and the microphones and this and that and bing bang. But when I'm sitting in there, there's a part of me. I'm not, a bad person. I'm not doing bad things. Nobody's after me. But I don't like sitting in there where I can only see out one window, but I can't see the front. It's crazy. I know. So when I sit here at the dining room table, and the walkway is right outside. Right outside the kitchen is a door, which is perfect, with a nice, beautiful, almost the whole length of the door, window with louvers that you could look out. And then on the other side in the living room was another door. There's 2 ways to get in here. And then a big, gigantic picture window in the front. So I feel better that I can just sit and talk and, look. I can see if it's raining out. I can see, if there's people outside with guns. I can see if Gandolfini's family is outside looking for. No, I'm only kidding. But anyway, I love doing it, and I hope I am able to continue to do it. So just remember, say a couple of prayers tomorrow for me, and for the surgeon, as we do this last one. And I have to just say that it's amazing what happened, and this all happened because of the hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And did they give me too many treatments? I don't know. Was it going to happen soon, or was it going to happen later on down the road? I don't know. All I know is that the oxygen therapy and the pressure that you're surrounded with while you're in the chamber there popped the eyes and developed that myopia where I had to wear glasses because I couldn't see where I was going, but I could read up close. And I've never had that problem in my life. Now, it's back to where it used to be, but I can also see up close now. See, the way my eyes used to be is I could see, like that joke always make. I could see for miles and miles with no problem. But up close, especially if you're reading a menu or fine print, like on a pill bottle, those bastards that do that. When they give you, when you're getting medicine, and say, make sure you read this. Who can read it? Nobody could read it. An eagle couldn't read it. But anyway, but now I can. So now after the surgery with the left eye, still a little blurry up close, but it's perfect. So when I finish the one tomorrow, no more glasses. I think I said it. I did a little love concert last night for everybody, and so the lenses are now out of the glasses, and they're going to replace them with regular tinted lenses, not prescription. And I'm going to have a very beautiful pair of Versace sunglasses that I'm going to walk around downtown in Palm Beach area. And I'm going to make believe like I have money. I'll let you know when I'm going to be there. So, all right, I love you all. Thank you. This isn't bad at all. We're at 50 minutes. I didn't take up too much of your life and your time. And don't forget, please share it. Put it on your wall. Tell your friends and family and everything. And it's on any platform that's out there if you want to watch it on Amazon and iTunes. And, oh, my God, there's just so many I can't even remember. All right. So I'll see you next Wednesday with a couple of Godfather stories. You'll love it. And then every week there'll be more surprises. All right. Love yous. Ciao.